What's up, everybody? I'm the BurningSkyCloud, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. So, in the last episode, we had a beach day date with a dine, and honestly, I should have chosen better options with Bryce because I kind of screwed that up. But oh well. Anyway, we're on chapter 5. I wonder if things are going to reach its climax here. But there's only one way to find out. After a night of turbulent dreams, my consciousness returned to the shores of the waking world. Today is the day of the big fireworks. Who shall I bring? Go alone. What? There's no option for anyone? While I was sure any of those I knew would agree to watch the fireworks with me if I asked, I ultimately decided to go alone, not wanting to impose on anyone if they hadn't asked me first. After making some preparations for the day, I set out to experience these fireworks had heard so much about. When I left my apartment, I realized just how eerily deserted the rest of the place felt. They really weren't kidding when they said everyone would watch the fireworks. I imagined there were a couple of designated places people gathered for this purpose. I had no doubt they were crowded beyond belief. While I waited for the fireworks to start, I looked at the area around me. With no soul in sight, I realized I hadn't actually spent many nights outside and was reminded of the day I had arrived here at my apartment in total darkness, with only Remy by my side. Huh? Oh. Oh, he's talking about the day he arrived. Got a little confused there. Soon, the total stillness was broken with the sound of the first rocket ascending, its explosion painting a circular pattern in the sky. More rockets followed, their quantity and frequency steadily increasing. Yo, nice. As the explosions battered my ears, a terrible realization hit me. Uh-oh. Considering how public of an event this was and how everyone would be watching the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to make his move. Yeah. Nobody thought about this? Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sounds of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving him as much security as he would ever have. As the portal had been repaired by the administrator, Reza would have no trouble making his getaway, and I was the only one who knew. Oh shit. I ran to my apartment and briefly considered calling the police as I grabbed a few things. However, I soon remembered that they were not only already understaffed, but that I might waste precious time if I tried to do so. Yo, that's being smart for once. I arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. I couldn't help but be glad that it was still turned off and didn't appear to have been used recently. But it meant Reza was still here, somewhere. I looked around, thinking about where he could be or if it was worth waiting for him here when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Hesitating, I drew near. I wonder if Maverick thought the same thing. No! Poor dragon! I checked. No, not Sebastian! Oh! No! Oh! Oh! I checked Sebastian for any signs of life and found nothing. However, his body was still warm. Yo, bro! Reza was here very recently, but he hadn't used the portal just yet. Why? Sebastian's guard post was not just for the portal itself, but also the surrounding area. Since Reza was already here, he probably had some unfinished business very close by. The underground building. The administrator had told me all about the prowess of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Reza to guess the same, or to try stealing them from a place he knew would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now. He also didn't have far to go from the portal. All things considered, it was the only option that made sense to me. I could have waited for Reza here, but in the end, I decided it would be better to meet him underground. If there was going to be a confrontation, I was sure I would have the advantage in a more crowded space. Even in the darkness, it was easy for me to spot the site where they had unearthed the building's entry, as it was in a roped-off area that I had seen from afar before. When I entered the building, I was met by a long, illuminated hallway that was lined with doors on both sides. Since the lights were already on, Reza had to be very close. I wasn't surprised that the building still had electricity, since its generators were also powering the portal. Suddenly, one of the doors opened, and out came Reza, carrying a large cardboard box. When he spotted me, he set it on the ground. Long time no see. Scoy, you're here. You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk with you for so long. I even tried to contact you, but I couldn't with someone telling you the whole time. But talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, help me with this and let's get out of here. No. Huh? No? What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything until you answer a few questions. You want to talk now? Sure. Why not? We've probably got a few hours if we wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We could even get the backup generator as well after we send this one over. When did you realize we were in the past? How did you know about the comet? I've known for a while. It's what I wanted to talk with you about when we met at the portal. How about you? I only recently found out. Looking back, it just seems so obvious to me now. I'm not sure how exactly you figured it out, but there are so many damn clues when you think about it. So he never met the administrator. I'm not even doing the administrator thing anymore. I mean, how could a supposedly completely different independent civilization speak the same language as us? What was this supposed to be? An alternate reality? No. It was just a different time. When was there ever anything resembling these creatures on Earth? It's not hard to make the jump from dragons to dinosaurs when some of them here look pretty damn near identical to dinosaurs we knew about. And then there are also the prehistoric fruits, the plants, and the fact that their technological level was nearly exactly the same as our own past society. But we don't even have to think that abstract. You just needed to look at the sky. The sun, the moon, even the stars are the same. Constellations change over time, of course, but you know we could account for that stuff. You could have just pointed your PDA at the sky and it would have told you the time period, including the imminent threat of being eradicated. You could even see the meteorite in the sky, and how it would change its position day after day. After day after day. Are you done? Are you done being condescending? I guess so. You killed those dragons, Reza. What a brilliant deduction, Sherlock. Yeah, well, I want to punch you in the face now. Why did you do it? Do you really need me to spell it out? I thought better of you. After I found out the truth about this place, I knew just waiting for the generators we were owed was not an option anymore. It would have taken who knows how long, but I didn't intend to stay a day longer than necessary. You wouldn't believe how hard it was for me to acquire some generators. Some of the dragons didn't go down easily. Reza, you killed dragons. That's the equivalent of killing a person. A life is still alive, my dude. But who cares that they got back the generators I stole? With just this one, we won't need any of the others. How could you do this? How could I do this? Let me ask you this. What harm is there really in taking their generators when their whole civilization would be gone in a few weeks anyway? The ones I killed just died a little earlier than scheduled. Even if that creep hadn't showed up and interrupted our meeting, we wouldn't have had the time for them to make the generators for us. How about we don't let them all die? They aren't going to be extinct anytime soon, if that's what you're concerned about. I paid the hatchery another visit before I came here. With the right persuasion, I think we'll have plenty of reasons to keep at least some of them around. Bodyguards, border patrols, weapons, even as pets or companions, as long as we make the necessary change. Dude, you are off your rocker. See? It's not as bad as you might think. I'm not going to just abandon them like that, only for their whole civilization to be wiped out. Get your priorities straight, Scoy. Next, you'd rather starve because you suddenly empathize with a steak. And you're not satisfied just starving by yourself. No, you're going to let all of us starve because you want to impose your morals on everyone. Since when do you think that you get to have any say in this? You know why you're here. What you're proposing is treason, and you know the consequences. Personally, I don't mind if you want to stay here. You know I don't care about corporal punishment. Dude, if anyone should stay here, it's you. Just let me through and you can do whatever you wish. I can't do that, Reza. I see how it is. They've told you they need this generator to stop the comet, huh? And now you've become their lackey. Don't tell me you've been drinking up what they've been telling you. You know they have as much of a vested interest in this whole thing as humanity does. That and you do. Or at least used to. Are we gonna tell them about the administrator? Do you think they wouldn't do the same thing if it was their families on the line instead of ours? Their entire world is on the line here. They live in perfect harmony, with their perfect green energy source and no reason for wars or conflicts, yada yada yada. We had that too, and you know what happened then? Of course you do. This is such an idiotic trope, you know. Random person meets weird natives, learns their ways, and then ends up saving them. What do they need you for, huh? Maybe they're going to be extinct for a reason if they can't even save themselves. You know of our suffering, yet we'll let them have it? I don't care what happens to them, but unlike you, I was at least trying to save humanity. At any cost. We have the solution right here, and you want to get philosophical now? Don't you think we deserve it? They've had it for who knows how long. Now it's time for us. That's kind of greedy, selfish of you. Not like this. Do you think I like it? If there was a different way, I wouldn't have spent the last few weeks doing what you didn't. We don't live in this fairy tale world of yours where there is just a perfect solution to everything. You should know that. Just being here for a few weeks must have messed you up. I think I know why. You got used to all the comforts they have here. You actually don't care if they all die back home, do you? As long as you can stay here in this perfect little world of yours, you have discarded everything and everyone back home and replaced it with this. Maybe it is because you just don't have a life back home. Low blow, dude. Bro. Low blow, bro. I can even understand that a little. Of course it would be nice to just stay here where they have everything that we don't. But being here also reminded me of everything I hated about our world as it used to be. I mean, it's nice getting to learn and getting to have the things that other places don't have. Kind of a cruel world if you think about it. But there's crueler life beyond that. The pettiness and the politics. Say about the solar flare what you want, but it leveled the playing field and gave people like us a chance to make a difference. For all our efforts, what did we get? A vote that was meaningless in a sea of stupidity and lies. Now everyone has to pull their own weight. We make the rules. You, of all people, should understand. Of course they wouldn't. They haven't wait. Was that me talking, or was that Reza? They haven't experienced how it is to live like we do now. To see the world burn and everyone you know die around you. I don't know, I remember. And because I won't let the same thing happen to them. How many do you think died back home just in 2 weeks you've been here because you don't have power for the hospital? We don't have power for the hospital, huh? Do you think those victims aren't worth mentioning? Or do you just care about the few dragons I killed? Our city is the last bastion of a civilized society in a world where nothing else is left. And who's to say the whole society hasn't already died in the weeks that we've both been here? Maybe you have forgotten about them, but I haven't. How many of us do you think will still be there in a month, a year, or are they just a statistic to you? The same could be said for the dragons. What do you want to do? Talk me down from doing this? And then what? It's too late anyway. You think they're just going to let us go after what I've done? Fat chance. Whatever you may think, you'll find that our leaders back home agree with my course of action. Why are you telling me this? Because I expect you to join me. That's not going to happen. And you call yourself an ambassador? This generator is the only thing we need for our city to survive. How can you even argue about this? The dragons also need that generator, and I'll do what is necessary to stop you if I have to. So that makes you judge, jury, and executioner. What a wonderful set of morals you have there, Scaly. We only need to wait until the comet has passed safely. You think you can stop the comet? And you need this generator to do that? Sure. And if your plan fails, then not only is this world gone, but we also lose any and all hope to save our own. We are so close now. We can't risk anything by waiting for your crazy plan when back home they are dying by the minute. I will not let you. You only want to save your own two-faced hide, because you don't want to face the consequences of what you did. That's true. He could have gone about it a better way. Oh, shit. Why are you laughing about this? I think Reza's mind snapped. Because it's a joke. It must be. I'm the one with a gun, and you thought you could just waltz in here and lecture me. Listening to you was fun and all, but the grown-ups must get back to work now. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't stop me now anyway. Actually, I can. I opened the cloak I was wearing to reveal an improvised bomb I had made from a generator. What is this? You showed me how to do it, with the little trap you set at the farmhouse. That wasn't intended for you. It doesn't matter. You set it for someone. You set it to kill. Where'd you even get a generator? After the police reclaimed the generators you stole, it was easy for me to take one when I was alone in the department. Just in case. I set the bomb on the ground between us. With it and me between Reza and the exit, he would have to listen now. So what's the plan? I'll tell you what's going to happen. You leave the generator and turn yourself in. You know what? I think you're bluffing. If you set off that bomb, not only do we both die, but you destroy the generators as well. And with them, any chance of saving either world... You would never do that. He pulled out his gun and pointed it at me as he slowly started closing the distance between us. Okay, Mr. Administrator, we need your help here. What is it going to be, Scaly? Killing all of us? Or just this world? Reza was right. In reality, The bomb provided no real leverage against him. If his goal was truly to save our city back home at any costs, he would not turn himself in. Even if the threat of setting off the bomb was a real one, his best chance would be to at least try to kill me now. I turned around and started running. No! I heard gunshots. Immediately, I felt the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced resonate through my arm. As I kept sprinting as fast as I could, I heard a beeping sound that made me realize I had inadvertently activated the bomb when I was hit. Out of bullets, Reza was not far behind me as we both scrambled towards the exit. Ah, frack. Just as I reached the outside, the bomb went off. The explosion battered my ears as the shockwave sent me flying. I collided with the ground and immediately felt a hail of debris. I cowered, waiting for it to die down. After a few seconds, I turned around and looked at the sky where the fireworks still painted patterns in the stars. With one hand, I reached toward my injured arm, only to find it wet with blood from my bullet wound. My whole body was numb. But I could not give up now. I slowly got up, looking around the area to get some perspective of the situation. Not far from where I was, I saw Reza lying on the ground. He wasn't moving. Shit. This turned into a bad situation. Well, he dead. As I got closer, I spotted the gun next to him. I won't let them find this. I took it with me, hiding it in one of my pockets as I started making my way towards the portal with slow and uneasy steps. I was shaken, and my vision was blurry. Every inch of movement felt like a new and harder chore than the last. Eventually, my legs gave in, and I collapsed to the ground. I resigned to my fate as I watched the night sky, illuminated by the colorful explosions of the fireworks. Damn. Suddenly, I was lifted off the ground, and as I opened my eyes, I saw the masked face of the administrator. I just could not let it happen. I had to stop him. I had to try. Somehow. Yeah, what if the administrator is actually us? That would be kind of crazy. The administrator started moving, carrying me. Unfortunately, it seems like the generators were destroyed as well. So this is how it ends, with humanity doomed to fade into history, and the dragons facing extinction. All hope is not lost. It never was. What are you going to do? I'm going to send you back in time. We'll just try again, and maybe we'll do better next time. Oh shit. That's right. We could use the portal to go back and change history. By now, we had arrived at the portal. The administrator gently set me down before moving towards the portal's controls. You will probably forget most of what happened. The teleportation tends to do that sometimes, especially when someone is transported several times in quick succession. Oh man. Maybe you'll remember a thing or two, and maybe they'll help you do better next time. Maybe. I'll see you on the other side. I heard the sound of the portal starting to do its work as the numbness and pain suddenly left my body. Things I had experienced and things I hadn't flashed across my mind as I was teleported. I felt free. Yo! Let's do the time warp again. Oh, yo, so that's how it happens, huh? Damn. Well, no chance of anything happening. So that's it. Reza's dead, the bombs explode. All the generators, humanity's doomed. So... Hmm. That was a... Well, it was nice seeing Reza for once, but... Everything's screwed up. You know, I gotta say, like, I love these alternate endings. Like, we can just go back in time and... Or I can just go back in time and, you know, try to refix things. Or, you know, not refix, but just plain fix things. But I tried it my way. Now it's time to figure out the real truth of the matter. Because I don't think I got the right kind of ending here. I didn't even get my chance with a dine. But I can easily fix that. And you know, thinking back, I probably should have finished that one game. Oh, the neutral ending. You have seen the neutral ending. What was that game called? Cause I played it years ago. It had something to do with a female machine making choices, and I only got through one ending. You experienced just one of the many different endings of Angels with Scaly Wings. In order to see the story's conclusion, you will have to play through the game a number of times. During the next playthrough, you may want to make different choices. You may even find the information you've gained this time to be helpful. Sometimes you might even notice that prior choices have changed a character or aspect of the game's world permanently. At any rate, feel free to employ the game skip buttons, Control and Tab, generously, as by default, they will only skip text that you have already seen, making subsequent playthroughs much more palatable. Can you find all the different endings? I've seen my first ending. Well, I suppose that I will just have to figure out my own ending in this situation. The neutral ending just sends me right back in time to do it again, but better. And with all the loads I have saved, I'm sure I can get a better ending. So, with that said, next episode will be precisely that. I will go and pick different options. And of course, this time I won't be reading through all what do you call it? I won't be reading through all the same text that I read in previous episodes. But anyway, this game isn't not over just yet. Stay tuned because I will be continuing onward. But in the meanwhile, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and share. And don't forget to subscribe to see more in the future. I'll catch you later.